Hillary Clinton attacks rival Bernie Sanders on gun laws. Hillary Clinton has attacked her main rival Bernie Sanders over U.S. gun laws at the Democratic presidential debate. When asked if the Vermont senator was strong on gun control, she said no, not at all, before vowing to go after the makers of guns used in shootings. Mr. Sanders also attacked Mrs. Clinton, saying her support for a no-fly zone in Syria would create serious problems. His rallies have drawn big crowds and he has challenged Mrs. Clinton's frontrunner status in some key states. A lot of the key exchanges came between these two, and the three other candidates on stage in Las Vegas: former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, former Virginia Senator Jim Webb, and former Rhode Island Senator Lincoln Chafee, struggled to make headway. 5 key moments of the debate. Full transcript of debate highlights. Biggest applause of the night to Mr. Sanders when he said the country was sick of hearing about Mrs. Clinton's email controversy. The self-described Democratic Socialist railed against the wealth going to the top 1% and lauded Denmark as an example. Former First Lady said she would stand up to bully Russian President Vladimir Putin, but she was on the defensive for supporting the Iraq War and backing a no-fly zone in Syria. One of the sharpest points of difference between the two main candidates came over gun laws. The hugely divisive issue came back on the agenda after a mass shooting at a college campus in Oregon. When Mrs. Clinton said her rival was not tough enough, she was referring to him voting in 2005 for a measure to give gun manufacturers immunity from lawsuits by shooting victims. The two also argued over the merits of capitalism, with the former First Lady saying it would be a grave mistake for the nation to reject it. "I'm a progressive, but I'm a progressive who likes to get things done," Mrs. Clinton said. Analysis: Kim Goddess, BBC News, Las Vegas. This was all about Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, and both their campaigns were incredibly happy with the candidates' performance. Mr. Sanders' campaign manager told me he demonstrated he was the most electable Democrat in a general election. The Clinton aide told me the former Secretary of State's performance was awesome. If the other 3 candidates had hoped this was their opportunity for a breakthrough on the national stage, they failed, especially Mr. Chafee and Mr. Webb. It raises the question of how much longer they'll stay in the race. With far fewer candidates sharing the stage, there was more opportunity for a substantive debate than at the Republican events so far. But it was also more lively than most anticipated, in part due to the skills of the moderator, but also because on a few issues, the candidates did really spar.